Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to use Microsoft Teams to create classes, set up virtual notebook, add conference links to Canvas because that's what my school system uses, and also add students or teacher assistant. And we're also going to demonstrate how we can teach our lessons live through Microsoft Teams. Let's get to it. The first thing you need to do is have a Microsoft Teams account. So once you log into Microsoft Teams, you are going to click join or create. So you have the options to create a team, join a team. So we are going to create a team. You can create a class, a PLC, if you're a principal, a staff administration's portfolio, clubs, groups, after school program, tutoring, like the possibilities are endless. So we are going to do a class. It'll ask you to name your class. So I'm going to say demo. And I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Then it's going to ask me to search for student. So I'm going to search for student. And I was trying to add a random student. So let me just add a random student. So I'm going to add 3 students. And I'm adding 3 students. I'm going to go ahead and add them. And once they're added, I'm going to go ahead and hit close. So I've added 3 random students. Now, the next thing it's going to ask you to do is to set up your class. Now, one of the most important things about Microsoft Teams is its ability to do virtual classes well. So before I get into that, we have just created a class. Just like that, you've created a class. Next, this is where it says post. This is where you can start a conversation. This is where you can, send a letter to your students. This is where you can attach a file. This is where you can send an emoji. This is where you can, you know, send praise to a student. So you have a student and you want to send praise to them. This is the place where you send praise. So you want to go ahead and say to your student, you guys are team players. You can go ahead and type the name of who you want to tell that they're a team player. And that's one of my students. I'm going to hit preview. And it's basically going to sit there and say, hey, you're a team player. Basically, I appreciate you. All right, next, you can come here. Once you're here, you can manage your team. You can add members. You can delete the team. You can do just about anything you want to do. So we can go here and you see in the conversation thread, it popped up that I said to the kid that she is a team player. You go here, you click on members, and this is where you can edit your members. You can add more members, you can delete more members, and that's right here, these buttons here. Manage team. You can add more members. Through here, you would click the drop down menu down here where it says members and guests, and you can delete members. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go back. Now, what are we doing? So class notebook says general, post, files, where if you've uploaded any files, this is where you find them, and class notebook. Now, this is something that I am in awe about because during this time, do we touch paper? Do we not touch paper? Do we read books? Do we not read books? How do we get our kids to get the most out of their learning while still maintaining the true effectiveness of what online school and real school is supposed to look like? So I'm going to set up a notebook, a blank notebook. So here it starts telling you what is the reason for the notebook. So it lists the different things that a notebook can do. So in here you have the collaboration space where the notes are stored for everyone. All channels have this section. The teacher can edit, the students can edit. We have the content library where the teacher can edit, but the students can only view. So you want to send a content to your students, but you don't want them to be able to adjust, modify, edit, delete. Content library. You want to solve a math problem, collaboration space. It's almost like your whiteboard. Next, you have your teacher only section. And in this section is where you could have notes for yourself. You could have your private notes. This is something that the kids will not have access to. Then you have the student notebook. Now, this is a private space for each student. The teacher can edit. You can grade the notebook, you can edit, but only that particular student can see their notebook. The other students will not be able to see the notebook. So let's go to next. Now, it gives you a pre-list of things you can add to your notebook, but let's say you're an elementary school teacher. Like we would not need, let's say, class notes. So we can add math, we can add reading, we can add science, we can add social studies. So these are just a few things that you can add, and the list goes on. You're building your notebook. You can add as many tabs as you want. You can even add a personal journal. For the student, no, this is my journal and this is where I will be able to add all my information. So hit create and watch the magic work. So once your notebook is created, now this is where the magic happens. So right here, this arrow towards your left, up here, you see student notebook, this arrow towards your left, you are going to see the demo page. And each page basically explains to you what is this notebook page all about. So what is this notebook page all about? It tells you exactly, what is this notebook page about? It gives you, full detailed description of what's going on. You can delete these information or you can keep them for your own personal reference. You have the collaboration space. Again, it tells you here, what's happening here. If you notice down here, it says page, it says section. What if you wanted to add a new section? This is where you can do so. If you want to add a new page, let's say you want to add Monday, we'll rename this page Monday 8/17/2020. And you want to say something like insert. You want to say something to kids like, welcome. You come here, go in your files, and this, it takes you to online pictures. And you could just type in the word welcome and just have it search. Now, I've chosen this photograph here. So this is something that we could start off with. So in our collaboration page, this is where we are. This is where the kids can edit. This is where we can edit as well. Now, if you click on the student's name and you're wondering, did she get it? No, she did not. Now, she has not yet gotten this information because you have not yet shared this information. But we're going to get to that next. So here, this is your collaboration page, and you guys can go ahead and delete these. There's no rule that says you need to keep it. You could delete it. Just have your page. What I would do is have each child go into their notebook, click on their page, and rename their page. You see how this says math? I would call it math or put the date there, handout, but the tabs are in real where the student can see all their tabs. This is their tabs. And guys, you can put tabs within tabs. You can add additional tabs if you want. It's your notebook. So a student wants to write something in their math journal. They could just click on the page, just like you're turning a notebook page. Click on the page, and the page will come down in order. They're solving their math problem. You hit math, you solve your problem, and we'll get into that. So you come here and you wanted to say to your students, welcome. This is where you would share this, where all your students would be able to see it. So you've gone in, you put your information, you're going to hit class notebook. Notice we were up here, now we're going down here. This gives us a more of an editing, right? So you come here and you distribute page, you distribute a new section. That means if you want to add science, but you didn't want to go in the student's book, this is one place you could distribute your section. You could copy content library. This is where, as a teacher, you could review the student's work. Here, you could manage the notebook. So over here, you can open it. And from here, you can delete tabs, add more tabs, and so forth. This link, this is the link you share to your student, whether through your Canvas page. Once the student clicks this link, it'll come right back to this page. Now, guys, I will show you how in just a moment. Now, let's go back out here. So we're in class notebook and we would like to say welcome to all our students. And I will go to class notebook, click on class notebook, and I want to distribute this page, just this page. So I'm going to distribute the page, says this individual distribution. That means you're going to pass it on to kids. If you had multiple notebooks, like in middle school, I have blocks 1, 2, and 4, I would distribute across notebooks. But we only have one notebook. Or if you had a small group, you can create small groups separate. Now, you come here and you can put small group tab in your notebook as well. So whenever you meet for a small group, the kids would know, let me hit that tab. That's what I'm going to use. So individual distribution. Then you will notice that your, your 3 students that you have will pop up and you hit next. Where do you want to send this? So where do you want to put this? Do you want to put this in your science, in your social studies, in your personal journals, in their handouts? Like, where do you want to put this information? It's your choice. Let's say you want to put it in their personal journal. Hit personal journal and distribute. And just like that, all students will have access to this information once it's marked complete. So we go over here and we say, okay, now let's check under personal journal. See, Monday the 17th, you click on it and voila, it's there. You go over here, you want to check another student's work, you come down here, click on another student, you scroll down, you click on their personal journal, and it's there. You just share it to everybody's page in real time. So as a teacher, you want to assign a quiz. So you're going to come this way and you can write on any page that you want to write on. But keep in mind that the content page, that's like notes that you don't want them to edit. If it's something you want them to write on, to solve, to do work, do not put it in the content page. You can use a collaboration space or you can use the welcome. So let me go to welcome. You can delete these, as I said, or you can keep them. I personally just want less of those pages, so I went ahead and I delete them. You add a new page, just like you would a notebook, and we're going to say it's 817 And in this day, we're going to do some math. So on this day, I want for them to solve math, but I also want for my students to watch a video. So in this case, we can insert an attachment, we can insert a printout, we can insert a photograph, we can insert a link, we can do whatever it is that we can tell them in audio that, hey guys, so, welcome to school. This is a brand new day. I'm so happy to have you, and we're just going to have fun together. So stop. Once the students are on their page, they can actually listen to your audio. Now, how amazing is that? Now, this feature is also good for feedback. Now, let's test it. Now, what if you would like to draw something? So within this space, let me move my audio over. I would like to draw something and problem. Now, you guys can go ahead and you guys can go to class notebook. You can solve your problems. You can distribute this page and send it to one kid. You only want one student to solve this problem. You can send it to that one student. And you can go back and you can review their work from this tab here. So once it loads, you would go in and you would send it to one student. So I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to give it to her in her math notebook. In class notebook, you want to solve a math problem. So you want to say 10 plus 10 equal. And in this case, you want to solve the problem 10 plus 10 equals. And you're going to ask the students to solve this problem. You can choose whether you want one student, whether you want all the students. You can choose whoever you need. So in the collaboration space, if this problem was here within the collaboration space here, all the kids will be able to see it as you're solving the problem, which is a great thing. So let's do something different. I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to recall it 8/18. And here I would like to, with my class notebook, 8/18. And here I would like to, with my class notebook, I would like to insert, let's say, file. I can insert the file as an attachment or as a printout. So let me choose my file. And I am going to choose, let's see, I'm going to choose this anchor chart. So let me insert this anchor chart. Now, with me inserting my anchor chart, I could use it interactively, or I could just send it to the students as their handout. Now, I want to share this anchor chart with all my students. So I'll go to class notebook. I'll go to distribute. I'll go to individual, distribute, individual distribution. Send it to one student, go next. And I'm going to put it in handout because I want to be able to send it there. So it's successfully landed there. It's going to tell you when it's done. And it says to you, you're only sending it to one student. So now I come here and I check another student to see if she had it. So I'm going to check the student, check her handout, and there's nothing. There's nothing because I did not place anything there. However, I check another student and handout, and voila, the student has the anchor chart. They can double click, they can open it, they can download it, and they'll have access to it. This is one way. Another thing we can do, let me go back up to our welcome page. I can add a new page, And this is like you going through day to day as a teacher doing different things in your class. Now, in this page, I would like to, let's say, insert or do some math. Let's do some math. I'm going to do some math. It tells you over here that when you're going to write an equation, you use the ink. When you're going to type, use the keyboard and select your equation, then click on the math button. And what it does is it creates your problem looking just like a math problem. Now, let's look at this information here. Another thing we can do is we can draw. You can draw. You can insert, as I said, just about anything you want to insert. An emoji, an add-on, a Google form. You can put a Google form in this if that's what you think is best for you. You can put a meeting detail there if that's what you think is best for you. Now, this is how the notebook looks. So when the student opens your notebook, this is what they will see. So they will see just their name and what's up here. They will not see another student's name. Once they open their notebook, they will only see within their notebooks and their tabs, their learning tabs, and that's it. Their quiz, their tabs, their homework, whatever it is, that's all they'll have access to. So let's look at another important thing. So now you're back in your notebook view. You logged on to Teams and you're looking at your notebook view. But you want to get your students to read. Remember, this arrow shows you all the students, but the students will only see themselves and themselves only. They will not see the kids' names. They will not see anybody else's names. All they'll see is just their name and the welcome, the collaboration space, and the content library. They'll not see anything else once they log in. Now, you are here. You can come here and you can add more tabs. Now, I know that reading is very important. Whether we're going to use Mayan, we need to keep in charge of reading. So here I want to add a Google form. And I want to call this Google form my reading log. Well, my Microsoft form, my reading log. So I'm going to create a form and it's just going to add the reading log, the log to the tab. So when the student logs on, they'll see the general, they'll see whatever is up here. Every student in your class will see the exact same thing. They'll see the notebook, the post, the files. They'll see everything that's here. They won't be able to remove anything, but they'll see everything that you can see here. So you want your students to read. You'll come here and you'll say, okay, I need the date because I need to know when you're reading. Go ahead, we're going to put date. Required. Next, I'm going to say, all right, let me scroll down. And this is just adding things in real time. I need to know the name of your book. And it's going to be a short answer, but I'm going to make everything required. So let me just, we can do a subtitle. We can do author. And now that we've done that, the next step would be to, let's say, name of your book, author. What if you want your students to write a summary? You can come over here, and this is where you could go to image. You can type in summary, anchor chart, search for images, and the students are at home and you still want them to get the most out of it. And I'm thinking, let me tell them what I'm looking for in a summary. You put a photograph there. So you're basically saying for your reading, I just want the name of your book, the author, and I want a summary of your book. This is what you're going to retell. Use the retelling rope. finally, let's get down to the last of it. The last thing I would want is, let's rate your book. Do you recommend this book? And we're going to go ahead and say that's required, and we are going to be done. Once you're done, it's automatically saved. Now, let's preview this. And you're going to see how easy. So we're going to preview. You can change a theme, whatever you want it. Do you want it, whatever you want it to look like? You can do whatever you want. Let's preview it. And when the student gets onto their reading log, this is what they'll see. So they're going to see that, when you submit the form, the owner will see your name, so don't worry about it. The date, the name of the book, the author, and a summary. You click here, you put your answer in. When you're done, do you recommend this book? And you submit. That's it. That's your reading log. So you tell your students, hey, if you click this, it reads it for them. So this is also a good tool because it will read it for the student. It will read every single section for the student. Yep. Here, you come here. You can disable it, but I would not recommend disabling it. Let it read for them. It'll even read down here where it says a summary for them. So you've learned how to add your form, and let's go back to the general. So post. So when your students log on, this is what they'll see. They will see the general, they'll see post, they'll see files, they'll see class notebook, they'll see assignment, grades, and the drop-down menu, reading log. This is what they will see. That is their view, that is their vantage point. So that's all that they have access to. So now it's time to teach a lesson. This is how I go about adding the kids to teach my lessons. So we're going to go into Canvas, and we're going to quickly add a link to the Canvas page. And once you add a link, you're basically within your modules or wherever you've planned, you're going to add your link, and you're going to basically say, okay, guys, within my link, I'm going to use my teacher page. So within my link, I am going to say let me just use an announcement for now. I'm going to get an announcement. I'm going to create an announcement, and I'm going to be link to class notebook. So here, please click this link to access your notebook. This is also where we'll have live classes. So we've created it. We've created a section, and we're gonna go back to Teams. And I want to make sure that my students do not get lost. Now they've gotten an alert that they're going to get Teams. So we're going to go to Class Notebook. Once you click the link for Class Notebook, click Class Notebook again. Click this little black book right here, and you're going to manage your notebook. You're going to copy this link right here. Then you're going to go back to your class, and you are going to, like to put the word link, and I would like to link the external link. So link the page, and I'm done. Now I will go ahead and save it. Now once I've saved this announcement, you can also put a date there, that way the students can see it. So you want to get back to Notebook. So the student log on to your Canvas page, they click link, And look what will happen. It takes them right to your notebook. One-stop shop. Once they get to your notebook, they'll have access to see their notebook. They'll have access to see their page. They'll have access to see, everything that it is that they're supposed to see. This is what we're going for. This is what we're looking for. So this is our class notebook. Now, it tells you how many members are there. It tells you what we're doing, the site contents, the documents. You click on the actual notebook. The possibilities are endless. So this is your class notebook. So let's get to the real part. Teaching through Microsoft Teams. Now, it's the first day of school. The students have clicked the link. So your students are in Canvas at this moment. They've read the announcement and they've now clicked the link. They click the link and they'll arrive in class like they're supposed to right here. It's in their notebook. They're there in class. Everything is there. You're right where you're supposed to be. Now, you as a teacher, you need to teach your class. Now, this is what or how you'd actually teach your class. You'd go to Meet. So once you're in class, this is the time where you need to schedule a call, a conference, a live class lesson, a demo. You need to do what you need to do because you have lessons that you need to teach. So you're going to go to Meet. And within Meet now, you are going to invite your students. The students will already be in your teams from that link, so they'll already be there. You're going to present, open your share tray. You can use a whiteboard. So this is where your whiteboard comes in. So once your whiteboard opens up, once your whiteboard opens up here, you can go ahead and you can do welcome. You can write whatever it is you need to write. You can talk to your students. You can teach your lesson. And this is where they're seeing your screen. Also, for your students at home, if you want to make it a one-stop shop, you can go ahead and hit the record button. Keep in mind that once you're presenting, and I can close the people button out, once you're presenting, you can choose not to see the students by closing the app on that side. So you can hit the people button and you can start recording. And at the end of the lesson, you can upload your lesson in Canvas. You can you can open your tray again. You can do a desktop view. And from the desktop view, you could share your screen. You could open your slides. You could do whatever it is that you need to open to teach. Once you're done, you can go back to your screen that you were on. You can stop presenting. You can take question and answer. You can tell the kids, raise your hand. If you have a question, they'll be able to raise their hand. They'll be able to lower their hand. You'll be able to mute them all at once. And that's just one of the things that you guys can do. Let me end the meeting. And this is just one of the many things that you can do through Teams. Now, if you guys have any questions, please free to reach out to me. Thank you guys.